airspace, and of course, NATO's airspace. And this underlines again the necessity for peace and for Putin to stop his unjustifiable and illegal war. I've been in contact with Minister Sikorski, the Polish Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the Deputy Prime Minister. And I understand that Poland will be invoking Article 4, which is essentially a formal consultation process with all NATO allies. In the meantime, I want to stress that Canada stands firmly with Poland, with our NATO allies, and of course with Ukraine in the short and the long term. And at the foremost of our commentary is the necessity for Russia to stop its illegal and unjustifiable war. The Russian drone attacks violated the airspace and therefore the sovereignty of Poland. And Canada stands with Poland and all NATO allies in upholding the NATO Treaty and the articles I mentioned, but also international law, which is based on the concept of sovereignty of states and territorial integrity. And let's be clear that Russia, since February 2022, has been violating Ukrainian sovereignty and territorial integrity also.
Just yesterday, I spoke with and met with 42 partner countries from inside NATO and outside NATO to examine what is actually happening on the ground in Ukraine, the extent, the proliferation of the use of drones by the Russian armed forces, the viciousness with which they're being dispatched, the damage they're doing now in the capital of Kyiv. Obviously, this indicates that Canada's anticipation of this was, I think, helpful. The Department of National Defence, the Canadian Armed Forces are working on this together now. We are, of course, cooperating domestically. We're cooperating with our NATO allies. And, of course, we'll have to monitor the situation and get more information as it goes along. But it is something that is surprising, but yet not surprising, given the extent to which President Putin has been called out, his unwillingness to have adult conversations about ceasefires, the games he appears to be playing. These are worrisome, but to a large extent also predictable.
We are evaluating the relationship with Israel. Of course, the attack yesterday on Qatar was one that was unacceptable. It was a violation of Qatari airspace. There were deaths on the ground at a time when Qatar was trying to facilitate peace. And so there are many moving pieces in the Middle East right now. And at the rock bottom, Canada's position is that we need to work for peace in the Middle East, and we need to address the humanitarian situation in Gaza. And that is why Canada is the third highest bilateral donor of humanitarian aid. And we want to see the food trucks being able to pass through on land so that distribution sites can be a place where people who need food can obtain food. At the same time, we call on Hamas to release all of the hostages and the remains of the hostages. And we call on Hamas to lay down their weapons and to ensure that they play no part in the future governance of Palestine.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.